I'm going to call the regular Board of Education. Going to call the regular Board of Education meeting to at 6:31 on April 28th. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. This is the first opportunity for public comment. A member of the public may address the board briefly for up to 3 minutes or request to be scheduled on the agenda for a future meeting. Please note the students will be given priority to speak on any topic. The first public participation portion of the meeting will normally be limited to 30 minutes, 1/2 hour, and will be limited to agenda items. The second public participation portion will be offered at the end of the agenda and allow for any other comments. Individuals addressing the board should observe the rules of common courtesy. The public participation portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against board members, district employees, and students. And I don't think we have none this time. Response to public comment, none. Okay. Revisions agenda, approval of the agenda. Recommend a motion to approve the agenda as printed or revised.
So moved. McVeigh.
Support Tizities.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries 5-0. I guess I will mention that Jennifer is out, Trustee or Vice President Stebbin, and Trustee Hansen. Student showcase. Saline area schools robotics team. So we have the FLL Explorers, grades 2nd through 3rd. Then they have the Robo Buzz and Robo Drone. We have the FLL Challenge. They're grade 4 through 5. They have the Robo Hive, Robo Hornets, Robo Swarm, Robo Sting. And we have the FTC, grades 6 through 8. They have the Hive, Hornet Hackers, Swarm, and Cyberbugs. And we have the FRC grade 9 through 12, and they are Saline Singularity. You can come up and do their.
Yes, thank you very much for having us. We are all very excited to be here. We have all of our FLL, FTC, and FRC teams here today to share with you all the wonderful things these kids have been doing together with their coaches, with their families, with their community. I'm Jeremy Schrader. I kind of coordinate all the activities of the FLL teams, all 6 of them. We have, first of all, a couple representatives of Robo Drone, our 2nd grade FLL team here today. They worked really hard on a whole archaeological dig site replica that they built out of Lego. Because what the kids don't know until after the season ends is that, yes, we build robots with Legos, but the robot in the Lego is a trick to get the kids in the door and to open other doors for them to learn all kinds of fantastic things, like how to defend your ideas with confidence, competence, and clarity to adults. These are really important things. How to make a good plan. They learn all of these things in our FLL program. So, Robo Drone is here, very excited about the archaeological dig site they built. Abby, do you want to share with the school board what you were most excited about this season? Come on up. Come to the microphone.
Pull the stool out.
Oh.
I liked building and coding.
Nice. Cool. All right. None of the members of our 3rd grade Robo Buzz team were able to make it today, but we're all excited about everything they were able to do throughout the season. Let's have a representative or two from Robo Hive, one of our 4th and 5th grade FLL Challenge teams, come and share. Okay. This is Coach James.
I think we're all a little bit too nervous to get in front of the mic as they get older. RoboHive is unique in that none of the kids on our team have ever done robotics before, so this is the first year for all of them. And they're an impressive group of 4th and 5th graders from Heritage, and having never done robotics before, they earned 2nd place at the state championships this year and earned the opportunity to go to Georgia Tech, where they'll compete against teams from all over the country and the world.
All right. Now we'll have Coach Jeffrey from Robo Swarm come up and share some moments of pride from their season.
I think with the Robo Swarm, we had a great level of experienced students who had done it from the previous season and new students like my daughter. And just to see that collaborative effort of the students coming together to design and teach each other the intricacies of these Lego builds, and then also the coding aspect, and then the challenges themselves. Throughout the season, we constantly saw growth with the students, and it was exciting the day of the competition to see that come to fruition. So it was a great season for us. Thank you.
All right, we have one representative of Robo Sting here today. Rosamond, if you can, and Eason, great. Raise your hands, say hello. I spoke with Rosamond ahead of time, and she told me her proudest moments toward the end of the season are when, you may not realize it, but these robots, the kids program them to do everything autonomously. So there's no remote control, not like FTC. And throwing a little shade there. And so the kids just get out there, they press a button, and they have to know that they've done a great job, and the robot can go out and do its thing. So Rosamond said one of her favorite things was being a little nervous before pushing that button, and then seeing the robot go out there and do what they told it to do, and feeling really proud seeing that. All right, so let's give a hand to Robo Sting. And let's have a Robo Hornet come up.
I liked working with Python for an innovation project and presenting to the judges.
I'll just give a final thought on something I'm really proud of these kids for. And it has to do with the grit that they learn and they develop throughout the season. One of our teams was speaking with a potential sponsor who asked the kids in her kind of tough Q&A afterward, really, is FLL hard? And they were like, oh yeah, it's hard. And one of them in particular spoke up and said, yeah, but that makes it even more fun, because once you get it working, you feel so good. And that's what we all want to hear out of these kids, and they get that experience through the season. So thank you very much. I'll hand the baton over to FTC.
Good evening. I'm Jeroen Spital. I've been leading the FTC program, 6th and 8th grade, since, 11 years ago, when my son was in 8th grade, and he just graduated from Kettering last July, so it's been a while. Hive is our youngest team. This is our 2nd season. Both seasons, these kids, well, some of them are new for this season, but this team has made it to the state championship both years. So they're doing awesome as, our youngest team. We are currently waiting to find out what event we might be advancing to, but it's been a great season. You guys want to say anything about it? Yeah. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Madison. Hi, my name is Madison, and I really enjoyed building the robots in Hive, and I also really enjoyed the nice people in this team. and this is my first year in robotics.
My name is Ishan. My overall favorite thing about this season was like the gameplay is very interesting.
My name is Elijah. This is my second year in FTC. One of my favorite things is building the mechanisms and learning more about engineering.
So one more thing, and this is for Jeremy. We have autonomous and remote control.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nick with Cybugs. Cybugs, raise your hands back there, guys, so they can say hi. My son is in the crutches back there, and I am in Saline Robotics because it has just been, for 3 years in a row, it has been an absolute joy to see these coaches work with these children and the hours they put in. And I'm talking 12 hours a week at a minimum. Could be 20, but the kids want to do this work. And it's very exciting for me as a parent and a coach to watch kids want to do that, learn, and come out of the other end smarter and stronger. And that's what this program is all about, whether you're in 2nd grade all the way up to 12th grade. And I've witnessed it, and it's very exciting. And these coaches do wonderful things. So the Cybugs had a good year. We went to 4 qualifier events. We won 3 out of 4, and we're going to Long Beach, California for an event the last week of school. So thank you all for that opportunity. And this is Danny. This year we had a unique mix. We had 6 8th graders, 6 6th graders who just started, and 1 7th grader. And Danny is one of our most elite 8th graders to talk to you now.
Hello there. My actual government name is Sejun Jun, but the people that I know refer me to as Danny. So my personal favorite things I did in robotics this year was personally programming, game plan, judging, and helping the 6th graders, helping others pass on the torch to the 7th graders. And teaching the 7th graders so they can pass on the torch to the 6th graders when the 6th graders are old enough to lead the team. And that was, my personal favorite things about this season. Yeah.
Bring in everybody.
All right. Hi, everybody. Whoa. My name is Chris Myers, and I have had the absolute joy of having been one of the coaches of Swarm this year, along with fellow coaches Aaron Atkinson and Eric Ensley. And we have had such an amazing season, and I would love for one of the kids to come up and tell us all about it. And if she isn't effusive enough, I will jump in and remind her of all that they've done this season. So why don't you come up, Lily?
My name is Lily, and it's my 4th year in the first program, and I think as a team we can all agree that one of our favorite parts is going to competitions and seeing all our work come to life and get to show it off kind of. And I think our favorite competition was the Governor's Cup because we got to meet will.i.am, who's a singer, and it was basically a free concert, and we got to meet teams from all over the country, and we were 1 in 3 middle school teams there. So it was nice just seeing proving how even middle schoolers can compete against high schoolers and still win. And we're all really excited for our advancement, and we're excited to see where the rest of the season leads us.
I think she about covered it. The one thing I will say is the Governor's Cup. We were chosen by the governor's office, who are huge FTC fans, by the way. to represent Michigan. So every state in the union got to send one team. So it was an honor, and we were proud to represent the state. And I think we did a good job. So can't say enough good things about these kids. They're just amazing and special, and we're lucky to have them. So thanks.
Cool. We are the Hornet Hackers. We've got a couple of 8th graders that are away. We've got a few remaining folks here that aren't in baseball practice and whatever else. But I was really proud of our team this year. We had a strategy of building a simple, reliable robot early on in the season while everyone else was working out all the kinks. And we did really well. We got advanced onto states, and then we did well at states and are going to a Canada Cup at Niagara in Canada. And I would like to turn it over to Shaddy, and he'll tell you a little bit about sort of what he enjoyed this season.
I enjoyed pretty much building the robot and doing our outreach events and spreading our community, spreading FIRST and what STEAM is. And that eventually led us to winning 2nd place in Inspire, which is the highest rank award you can get. That, like Coach said, qualified us for a Canada Cup later next month.
We're just going to fill in the space here. All right, I'm back. All right. I'm also very, very excited to present this group of students, Team 5066, Saline Singularity at the high school level. Before I turn over the mic to a reluctant participant, just FRC a little bit by the numbers. There are 531 teams in Michigan. There are only 499 football teams, by the way. FIRST Robotics at the high school level is huge in Michigan. It is the #1 by size and competitiveness in the entire world, right? I think California comes close in at 300 teams, okay? There are $30 million in scholarships available, right? You're 10 times more likely to get an apprenticeship or an internship if you have been in an FRC program, okay? So this program is very special, and my hope for everybody coming up, everybody here coming up through the ranks, I would love to see them all join this team. So very proud of what they've accomplished this year. We've got a little bit of where's Vadim? Oh, Vadim is right there. All right, nice. So Vadim, do you want to tell us where we're going tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. So we are going to the International World's Robotics Tournament in Houston, Texas tomorrow. Yeah.
Well said, Vadim. Well said. Advance the slide here. Okay, if we have under 2 minutes, I would love to show what an actual match looks like for those of you who have not seen it. You guys want to see that? Does everybody want to see that? Yeah. All right. This is a bridge. I don't know if I can click OK. All right, you got it. All right, nice. All right, Vadim is going to cast
3,
like a sports
2,
cast.
1, go.
So this is the auton period. In this
Match
moment,
11
the robots
on the
are
Hemlock
purely running on
Semiconductor
code and
field.
sensors that are built into the
3
bot.
blue
There is
robots
absolutely
making
no
it to
human
neutral
control
zone,
in this
2
moment.
for the red.
And this was the match that got us into
3
finals
red
for our
robots
division.
shooting, trying to keep up with the blue. It's neck and neck right now to get the autonomous victory. But it's going to be the Blue Alliance that pulls through.
So in this
tops over the
match,
Red Alliance
you
and
see those
taking the
boxes
autonomous
there. They're called the
victory.
hub. And every time there's a light on, that means that you can score. And if the light's
50-66
not on,
on
then
the
you
Red
can't
Alliance
not score.
Singularity
So then
is
right here,
already
since
beginning
the
to
light is on
score
for
Red
our
Alliance as they
side,
begin
we
shift
are
one.
seen just
Robo
dumping
Saints are
balls
doing
into
the
the
same as
what is
well.
called the hub.
And taking the lead now, 160 to 143.
Any strategy we want?
One more.
Oh yeah, so our strategy for our bot is to gather as many balls as we can, then sit in the back and dump them almost nearly as fast as I can, as fast as we can. There's another one of our alliance members' bots, and their job is literally they just have one big drum, And their job is to have pure quantity over quality. And then here is endgame, and in the endgame, both sides' hubs are active, which means both sides can score at the same time. As you can see here, we win the match because we are Red Alliance, and yeah, we did amazing.
10 seconds left at 400 plus points. They've got 4, 3, 2,
1, and that was the end of the match. And that is the match that got us into finals. So effectively sealed the deal for us going to Worlds. So that was a big accomplishment. So yeah, so then those are some of the awards. Graham. So yeah, so at our first competition in Milford, we got the Judges Award, which is like we did good for all the awards, but we didn't do the best for that award. So we got that, and then we also got in Saline. In the state championship, we got the Innovate Award in Controls, which is because we had all those sensors for Auton, that allowed us to get that award. And then, yeah, we were the finalist alliance for the state championship, which was a really big deal for us. And so, yeah, that's how we're going to Worlds.
How many times have we been to Worlds video?
We have been to Worlds 0 times so far, so this will be our first time.
First. Anyone else want to say anything? No. All right, that's no. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
So what we're going to do is we want to get 3 pictures. We're going to do the grades 2, 3 through and 4, 5 together, and then grades 6, 8, and then the high school together. Since the high school's here, we'll start with high school. Okay.
How's the team doing?
Hey, dude. Hey. Take one, too.
changing it. What do you mean?
Yes. You better get in there, Lincoln. Huh?
I said, I've got no camera. I feel
I'll
like
take a
I was
picture
in
of you
the
guys.
way.
Want a picture?
Huh?
Oh, no, you're
I was
good.
just
Sorry.
in the way.
I'll figure it out. Did you see my article?
Not yet. Okay.
I did it last Friday.
Okay. No, I thought
And I'm going to bring this writing up. Bye. She's at home. Because I write for a newspaper. I'm covering robotics teams.
good writer.
Gotta do something with my time. You like robotics? Just to get a look in front of you. I keep trying to ignore it.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, now I'm going to start back up. Now we'll move on to the administration and board updates. Superintendent updates.
You know, in my updates is just to congratulate them and wish them well to go to World. So I'll just cover that now. And so hopefully they heard me since they are exiting. So good evening. As we move deeper into the spring, there's definitely a sense of energy all around right now, momentum. As we know, spring brings its unique rhythm. And tonight I'd like to share a few highlights. The first one is as we head into next week, and we are preparing to celebrate Staff Appreciation Week. And if you ask anyone who has worked with me before or led with me before, this is one of my favorite times of the year. And it's a time that we pause and reflect and just really celebrate all of those who make our schools what they are every day. While nationally, it's often known as Teacher Appreciation Week, here in SAS, we celebrate all of our staff because they strengthen the entire system. So everyone from our paraprofessionals, our teachers, our bus drivers, also it's Bus Driver Appreciation Day, so it all comes out so quickly and fast in the same time. Food service staff, our administrators, the support staff that work with us, our office professionals, and administrative assistants. I know I have left out groups, but I've hoped to cover them and more. All of it truly, it takes all of us to do this work. And so thank you for being problem solvers, mentors, and trusted adults. Can't wait to celebrate you next week. Also on that, we also want to thank our PTOs, PTAs, and the many local businesses actually that have stepped up to provide some yummy breakfasts and all kinds of goodies for Staff Appreciation Week. As you may have seen, our Saline Area Senior Center will have its grand opening on Tuesday, May 5th. From 4 to 7 at Saline Middle School, and the crews have been working nonstop to make sure they are ready to go. Some of these areas are the new home for our updated cosmetology program, and we are so thankful to our voters always for all of the work that all of the ability to do this work with our 2022 bond passage. And in addition to that, of course, with the CARES funding and all of the things that we pour into not only the building through bond work, but as our partners at Saline Area Senior Center. And I'm excited because the event is going to include program demonstrations, but most excited about the oral history displays. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those and some of the local history that I believe is going to be on display. And so come join us to see these beautiful and updated spaces. Hope to see you there. I want to remind our Saline High School students to check their email. They have an application for leadership roles next year across a few absolutely key parts of our district, and that is the Board of Education. So we are looking for student reps for the Board of Education, the Foundation for Saline Area Schools, and also our Heritage Preservation Foundation, who also has a student rep component. And so we've streamlined this process to hopefully attract some of our top leaders in our incoming seniors and incoming juniors. Those applications, and I've heard that we will not accept late ones, are due May 3rd. So hopefully you have gotten that email and you put that on your to-do list if you hope to join those leadership roles. I'm just grateful to the Foundation for Saline Area Schools and Stacy for just hosting an amazing Superintendent Circle dinner. And thank you to those generous supporters who joined me to have laughs, see me try to talk to them over music, which was super fun. And but I think they probably wanted to listen to the music at some points. But and thank you to Max, always a great place to go. And thank you for hosting us. I just want to share a few things kind of together about CTE and some of our recent competitions. We had top finishes in CNC programming, 3D printing, and advanced manufacturing. We also had top performances in architectural drafting and technical drafting, welding, fabrication, cosmetology, and health sciences, which were very competitive from what I read, and also some of the agricultural programs. So just wanted to shout out some of those areas. We've also been working with our administrators, our teachers, and then next up is our students before the end of the year to work on aligning our social, emotional, and behavioral health systems in SAS and ensuring that we have all the things ready to go for next year. As a result of that work, we are excited to introduce 3 unified district-wide expectations for next year. So those are: we are Hornets, we are responsible, we are respectful, and we are safe. And those will be implemented with support from our buildings and our teachers. And then again, we're going to invest in student voice into that, taking that off next year. Maycember is upon us. You hear me say that often. It really is. It's next week. So be sure you're reading Parent Square and you've got all your notifications set up so that you can get those as you want them, because we have lots of fine arts performances, lots of concerts. I know my calendar looks, it's a lot, but it's so cool that this time of year we get to celebrate and see the completion of so many things. I am also hearing that field days are very popular, and that is a time tradition, especially when it's like 95 degrees. So I'm sure some school will have one that's very warm that day, science fairs to close out the years, and of course those classroom celebrations. And as I close, I just want to thank our PTOs and PTAs. I'm in the midst of visiting them and or collecting feedback for our strategic plan. It's kind of one way we're ending the year to finish out parent collection of feedback and some of the building feedback loops. And as we head into this final stretch of the school year, I just want to say I'm so proud of all the work happening, because this is the time of year when you see much of it coming to fruition. And as we approach Staff Appreciation Week, thank you for moving forward with purpose in all of the things you do for our students. And that is my update for tonight.
Okay, our student representative, Jillian Hayes, is at a track meet, but she did send me an email, so I will read some of the things that she had mentioned. For the seniors, decision day is coming up on May 1st. I know a lot of people who have already committed. For those who were denied from their dream college, I'm with you. I understand your pain, and I hope you find somewhere that you fit into. For those who are going somewhere they're excited about, I wish you the best of luck. AP tests start also start up next week, kicking off on May 4th with AP Biology at 8 a.m. Jillian will be in that test. Best of luck to all the testers, and reminder to the athletes and you are students first, athletes after. Make sure you take time for yourself to study and to sleep. As well as the Saline High School Drama Club is putting on their spring play. It is student directed, and it's The Wizard of Oz. Happening on May 1st at 7:30 p.m. and May 2nd at 2 p.m. at the Liberty School Auditorium, $5 at the door or online. So that was what Jillian had to say and contribute. Now general committee and committee updates for the trustees.
The policy committee will be meeting on May 4th. We've had a little break between meetings, but we will continue that work. The board has been asked to provide some feedback on a couple of those key items for our next discussion, and we should be buttoning up quite a few items in that next meeting. And only other thing I want to mention is the spring art show, May 8th through 10th. I love that art show, and it is fantastic to see all the kids' artwork that has developed over the years. So I encourage everyone to attend that. The Friday availability, all the art teachers will be available. So I think that's really fun to be able to talk to all the art teachers as well.
I will be at that policy meeting. I'd like to just take a brief minute and thank the staff for Staff Appreciation Week, and wish a happy Mother's Day, because I don't think we'll be here before Mother's Day again, to all the moms. And hearty congratulations to the seniors heading through their last month before this big transition.
I'll go real quick. So May 8th, the Saline Chamber will be hosting their Women in Business spring event at the EHM Professional Building. And then also their 2026 golf outing will be on June 16th at the Stonebridge Golf Club. You can sign up for both of those at the Saline Chamber website, which is www.salinechamber.org. I also wanted to touch on what Rachel had mentioned on the leadership roles for the board student representative, the Foundation of Saline Area Schools representative, and the Weber Bliss representative, May 3rd. So we are excited to see all those applicants.
Same, just wanted to wish all of our staff a happy Staff Appreciation Week. So many moving parts and so much dedication make Saline District a great place to be. Thank you.
I really don't have much to say. I had a remarkably light SAS-free 2 weeks. So although I did attend a choral ensemble, I think I managed to squeeze one performance in before I had to leave. So I mean, it was, and I'm looking, but anyway, next week is going to be very busy. In fact, I was invited to do a few fun things in the next few days. So you know, there's always something going on around here for our board members. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Action item, recommend a motion to adopt the attached Troon resolution to submit sinking fund and recreation and playground CARES millage renewals proposals for the special election held on Tuesday, August 4th, 2026.
So moved.
And supported by McVeigh.
Okay.
The team is going to join us at the podium to discuss the renewal, and we have lots of great Liberty presentations tonight. So thank you, Miranda.
Yeah, just a pretty quick, brief overview. So as the wordings in the Troon resolution that you saw attached in your board documents, it says both the sinking fund and the recreation and playground millage that we refer to locally as our CARES millage. So if you go to the next slide, just some brief overview, general information that this is talking about the election date of Tuesday, August 4th, August 4th, 2026. And so the concept is, the last time this was renewed, we have obviously our absentee ballots. That makes a bigger difference in this. That's available as early as June 25th, and the early in-person voting also is relevant to this vote. One of the biggest things here is this is no financial change to the current taxes. It's simply another renewal for another 10 years. We're authorized to go for 10 years, and so this just kind of renews this, and it's set to expire after the 2027 tax levy. This is a levy that's on all properties and is also subject to Headley rollback. That's where we get a lot of those fractional millages that we talk about each year. So we talk about that if for what is a mill, for every $100,000 of taxable value, the sinking fund millage at a 0.3421 would be $34.21 per 100,000. So if you're talking about a $400,000 taxable value, you would times by 4. So that kind of makes it that simple math. But there is no change in the millage. It's simply a renewal. In your packet, you saw all of that ballot language in there. One thing to just remember as a Campaign Finance Act, as employees and elected officials, that this is our space that no school or public funds are used for support or opposition of the millage. We are only an information-only space. And we're going to just give a quick, brief overview of both of these millages that these gentlemen are going to tell you.
All right, thank you, Miranda. As you can see, the next one is the CARES millage. This one was first passed in 2000. It's 4 years before I was here, so I've been able to see this the last 22 years to see what's benefited. It's been a great millage, a great thing for Saline. We've had a lot of people benefit from it. We passed it in 09, and we passed it again in 17, as you can see on there. In 09, we added the sinking fund to it, so we reduced the mills of the CARES millage. Which has still been plenty for the CARES millage. And as you can see on there, the main part of the millage supports the senior center, the performing arts center, and the pool, and then the general recreation, our before and after care programs, and our preschool operations. The continued grants for local organizations, those are the CARES grants that we approve, usually 3 times a year. So we've had hundreds of groups that have been receiving those since 2000. So it's been a really benefit to the community. And then, as Miranda says, we do call it CARES, and that's our logo there on the right. You'll see a lot of that on our community ed information.
Good evening. I'm going to touch base on the sinking fund. So the sinking fund, it's used to repair for school buildings, facilities, school security improvements, acquire and install instructional technology. It's levied at 0.3421 mils, which generates approximately $975,000. It was first passed in 2009 and again in 2017, so we've had excellent community support. These are recurring funds, highly regulated with specific approved uses. It cannot be used for salaries or benefits, general operations, routine maintenance, or purchasing equipment. But what it can be used for is roof repairs, security, security doors, flooring projects, classroom remodeling, smaller construction projects, pavement and sidewalk repairs, as well as short-term improvements, and of course instructional technology, which was very, very much used before we were able to pass school bonds. Yes.
Just a brief overview. Just wondering if you guys had any follow-up questions.
Any questions? I just want to say that, especially the sinking fund, I know being on the finance committee for years, we always talk about the 3-legged stool, the bond fund, sinking fund, and general fund, and how intricate they all 3 are in how we do our financing. And then as far as the CARES, I mean, they support some really critical pieces of our school district. So it is critical for both of these to go through. So I appreciate it. Any other questions?
I don't, Brian, is there some place on online on our website that shows the list of all of the things that the CARES money have supported over the years in an easy to find.
Are you talking just about the grants in general?
Yes.
We have some on there. If you go to our community ed page, there's a CARES tab. It doesn't have all of them because it's a lot of them, but it has a majority of them. So you can go on there and see everything, the majority of ones we've passed lately. So, yeah.
That's excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No other questions? We'll put it to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. And now our scheduled report, the secondary pathway, one system, multiple pathways, shared expectations. Presenters are the teaching and learning team.
Good evening, and thank you so much for the opportunity to share an update on our secondary pathways in Saline schools tonight. This work represents a collaborative effort across our system, and I especially want to recognize Sonia Kevnick, our newly appointed Director of Student Pathways and Experiences, who has led the design and development of this work alongside support from Dr. Kowalski and myself, and of course a huge thank you to the Alternative High School team and students for the collaboration on these efforts as well. Tonight, we're excited to share with you how we are strengthening our system to ensure every student has access to a meaningful and successful path for graduation. So as we think about pathways, it's important to recognize that this is not new work for Saline. And I'm going to ask for forgiveness for all my Saline historians here in case my dates are slightly off. They're really for illustrative purposes on this slide, to really show that our system has always evolved to meet the needs of students, whether it's from one-room schools to a comprehensive school or to the creation of alternative programming. What we're sharing tonight is the next step in that tradition. Today, we are seeing a growing need for greater coherence in how we define and support student pathways. We're also seeing an increase in students accessing learning across multiple settings, whether that be CTE, dual enrollment, or even online coursework. Most importantly, we know that a single traditional model, while it meets the needs of many, does not fully meet the needs of every student. While this creates both a challenge and an opportunity for us as a system, we're really ready to tackle it this year. To ensure this work is grounded in real experiences, we spent some time listening to students, considering the data, collaborating with immediate stakeholders, and of course, collaborating with staff and families. I'm going to turn it over to Sonia to share what we've heard and how that's shaped the design of these pathways that we're presenting tonight.
Thank you so much, Kara. Through conversations with students, family, and staff, a few consistent themes emerged. Students have varying needs in order to accomplish a high school diploma. We collected data through PD with staff that share our students have a need for individualized and student-centered learning options. In collaboration with Saline High School, through the EWIMS data, it showed us that some students are needing more flexible time, more space, and paths to accommodate varying schedules and interests outside of just school. I have had and continue to have the privilege to get to know the current parents and families of students we are serving, and will continue to build relationships, collect feedback to ensure pathways are serving all families. All of these insights are directly informing how we design the pathways that we're going to share next. At the core of this work is a commitment to our students. We know one size doesn't fit all. So we aim to expand access, build a stronger sense of belonging, no matter the pathway our students may choose, and continue to support success while holding high expectations. Students currently describe their experience with words like connection, independence, opportunity, support, and mentorship. As we continue learning from Saline area schools, students, and their families, we plan and will shape pathways that reflect their needs and build meaningful learning together.
So we're excited to share that with those critical pieces in mind and to ensure students have access to all the very best pathways to meet their needs, that beginning in the 26-27 school year, Saline area schools will offer 3 secondary pathways within one unified system. Our comprehensive Saline High School, Liberty High School, formerly known as Saline Alternative High School, and Liberty Flex, the new flexible learning pathway that will be integrated into the Liberty High School here at Liberty School. Each pathway is designed to meet the different needs of students while maintaining shared expectations across the system. And of these updates, what I'd like to do is have Sonia share with you the more robust details around the Liberty pathways themselves.
Okay, so for Liberty High School is a small structured learning environment where we blend direct instruction and online work that really allows our students to get that mentorship, SEL supports in person. You can imagine or might picture, this is a student who starts their day in the morning at school. They're moving through a consistent schedule where the students and family notice and recognize a benefit from routine, but need that in a smaller setting in both student numbers and physical space, as well as more personalized support, again, that is blending online coursework with direct instruction that allows students to build strong connections with the staff and other peers. The next one that I want to talk about is Liberty Flex High School. So this high school is offering fully virtual coursework. It's gonna provide personalized in-person support for the students, and it gives them some different options of how to access that throughout their week. And then it also allows them to build a schedule that works for their lives outside of school and to ensure they stay on top of their goals for graduation. At Liberty Flex program, you may picture a student whose day is looking different. They log in from home, they set their own pace, they balance school with work, family, or other responsibilities. They check in virtually when needed, or they can come to the Flex room for extra help and guidance, staying connected while taking advantage of a more independent, flexible path towards graduation. With these 2 new pathways, we still uplift and understand Saline High School remains the primary pathway for most students. And additional pathways are accessed through the collaborative process we have, talking with students, families, and the school teams that support all the secondary pathways presented today. In fact, we do have multiple students that currently take classes at Saline High School that attend Liberty Alt, which is now being changed to Liberty High School. And sometimes we even have students that will return to Saline High School full-time. So I continue to have the opportunity and pleasure to work with current staff, Dr. Kowalski, Kara Davis, and staff from Saline High School, and know that what I see and experience with them is that we're all remaining committed to a shared belief. Regardless of the pathway, our commitment as a system stays the same. All students will have access to high-quality instruction, certified teachers, and opportunities such as CTE, dual enrollment, and extracurriculars. This is about expanding access, not lowering expectations. It's about one system, multiple pathways, and shared expectations. Thank you so much for the time, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions?
Where is the online content coming from?
Yeah, so we'll be utilizing an LMS software through Ingenuity.
Okay. And I'm fairly certain everyone's going to be getting a diploma at the end of it that says Saline area schools.
About that, yeah, that was one of my questions too. Thank you, I appreciate that. So it is, the online instruction is all asynchronous as well. Is it using any of our instructors as well, or is it, how does that work? Is it just completely an online package that's been created by Edgenuity?
Yeah, so we utilize Ingenuity, the Ingenuity curriculum that's through there, and then that support of, teachers, the program coordinator, as well as helping support the students day to day.
Super, that's very helpful. And you had mentioned moving from Liberty High School to Saline High School. Some students can do that. Does that mean Liberty High School is based on the same trimester system as well? Yes?
So we do have trimesters, and then we also run marking periods.
Okay, so it's possible to move from Liberty High School at any time or at structured moments throughout the semester?
Yeah, I think what's been really great about my time here is we're working really closely with Saline High School, and then Liberty High School here to ensure it's the right time for the student and the supports they need to continue on to graduation.
Great. Thank you.
For the students doing the purely virtual option, will there be physical education? Do they actually meet in person with groups or have any access to social, experiences school-wide? Can you tell me a little bit more about what that curriculum looks like? And
Yeah, as we're working to build this and grow, we really look close to what the students are needing, and then we ensure we're meeting those state standards. Through that, we continue to build and address those as the year goes on.
One of the things that we wanted to lift up in our presentation this evening, and if it doesn't come up in a question, is that we do have a number of students who are accessing online courses because that's what best meets their needs right now, and we're making adjustments that we really wanted to bring in full transparency to our entire school community because it does exist, and we want to make sure that all of our students know and our families know what pathways are available based upon student needs. So it's really taking a model that we are utilizing currently for many of our alternative high school students, and or if we need a good fit, and then bringing that to the forefront in order to communicate it clearly and make it a viable pathway for anybody who reaches out to us in order to be able to provide that. And there's a lot of fluidity as needed based upon the students' needs and their schedules across pathways, and that's in response to how the teams are working together to provide those supports from the teacher perspective, family perspective, student perspective, and then any wraparound or ancillary supports that might be involved.
I wanted to lift that too, that bringing equity and transparency to the available options is something that we have been working on individually with students, and we really felt compelled that this needs to be available and transparent to all. I also wanted to address that there is no world in which a student on Liberty Flex would not be in this building, having appropriate check-ins as needed, database for the students, and access to peers as part of that, because they would likely encounter on a regular basis peers who are also experiencing virtual curriculum.
I figured that was the case. I actually think that I was trying to highlight it as a benefit because this is, as you point out, something I have some experience with, and I would much rather have students go through their home district and this kind of where they could flow, perhaps if they have a different circumstance the following year and get back into the classroom or not. But I think it's a good thing to have something that's already integrated within Saline schools. And
thank you for lifting that, because I do want to make it clear that there are a variety of reasons why students need various pathways. And it's really important to us as a school district that we offer robust opportunities for kids.
And that they don't go seeking elsewhere. Yeah. And that was a common, kind of what brought us together on this in the fall, is that there were other options they were seeking that may not reflect the Saline community and what the outcomes would be.
The last point on this slide says servicing up to 30 students in year one. Is this something that we plan on scaling significantly? Is this just a test balloon? Okay.
Yeah. Definitely, yep. Scaling, for sure.
Do we have any idea what we would look at capacity?
70 to 100 eventually in the Liberty Flex program would be my goal. But again, it was really important. And I told them that year one, we have to have 70 to 100. I'm kidding. I didn't say that and ask of that. But we, kind of bring us back to scaling a new program and making sure it's really meeting the needs of students. But the district has an idea that we may be missing out on about 75 to 100 students who would be Saline area school students who are perhaps accessing this type of programming elsewhere. We want to bring them back into the Hornet fold here.
add one more piece to that is the EWIMS data, which may or may not be new terminology, is another educational acronym, is some of the early warning signs that we're monitoring. And when we're studying this data, as you know, from the board reports that we've given across the years as part of our MTSS and social emotional behavioral health monitoring in the district, is that we know that there's students that are in need of additional supports or pathways that we can see in some of the data studies that we're doing, who are currently also locally enrolled, and that we really want to have opportunities for that are really viable and well-structured. So that's a piece of it too.
Would this be something that we look at maybe proactively on those data points where we would approach the student and the family about that?
Yeah, so I don't know if Sonia wants to speak to her collaboration with the high school team. It's been really wonderful having Sonia back as a part of our district team in order to build those bridges with the high school counselors, administrators, MTSS coordinator, social worker, attendance, dean of attendance, and having these conversations with data at the forefront where they're studying the data and talking about where are these options and what's best for the kids, and really studying students literally line by line, student by student, for personalized support. I don't know if you want to speak more to that.
Yeah, I think as, you know, I stepped into this role and got to know what Saline needed, you know, our all ed staff, Liberty High School staff now, high school, they were doing that very fluidly already, so we just will continue to do that with this other pathway, is making sure we can be proactive and getting to the students' needs, you know, instead of in that reactive manner.
When we're approached by parents out there from other districts who look at our schools, school of choice options, I'm wondering if this is probably something you may have to bring to us to make a decision on, but is Liberty High School going to show up as a separate line in our school of choice lottery?
We're still finalizing some things in terms of MDE waivers and some of the options that we have in that case, and I will bring that to you when that's ready as an option for potentially school of choice. Yep.
Well, thank you. That was nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so consent agenda items. Can I have a recommended motion to authorize the consent agenda as printed?
So move, McVeigh.
Support Gold.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. Items scheduled for the next agenda.
On the next agenda, we will be having, I believe, a presentation of our new administrative team. We are finishing some of the reorganization, the reorg hiring. So some new administrators will be joining us that have been posted, and not anything new to the community, but we are completing that process and are excited. I will be excited and thrilled to introduce integral parts of our team, and so that is something to look forward to. I'm going to say we do not have a new administrative team. We have additional administrators who are joining our team.
Okay, public comment. This is our second public comment. I do not see any. So our next meeting, the next Board of Education meeting, will be held on May 12th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Can I have a motion to adjourn the regular Board of Education meeting on April 28th at 7:33 p.m.?
So moved, Trustees.
Support Berwick.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. Thank you.